Now when you put your camera on the tripod, most decent professional tripods will have a sliding plate, and this allows you to move the camera fore and aft. The reason for this is to get the center of gravity of the camera in a good position. So the way you do that is you take all the tension off the tilt and let the brake go, and then releasing the sliding plate, get the camera in a position where it feels neither back heavy or front heavy. Then once you're happy with that, you can add a little bit of tilt tension. Now, the amount of tension you have on your tripod will very much depend on the conditions you're filming in and your personal preference. I actually work with quite a light setting of just 1 and 1 on this Miller head. So what's the purpose of a tripod? Apart from to give you stability, it's to allow you to create smooth pans and smooth tilts. Now, you may know this already, but a pan is really just a movement from right to left or left to right. So emulating what the eyes do if you tilt your head from one side to the other. A tilt is like looking up and looking down. And again, you can look up with the camera or look down. But there are some techniques involved to make sure that the viewer's experience is not jarred. And talking of jarring, I see a lot of people worrying unnecessarily about this idea of judder. Judder is this notional idea that exists that when you pan the camera, the shot shakes slightly. Now this is something that is inherent with progressive filming, and this is actually directly related to cinema and how the film look gives us that experience that differs from television. So my personal opinion is just don't worry about judder. Sometimes it will appear more pronounced in the viewfinder than it does actually in the finished product. So let me give you a couple of tips for panning here. I sometimes see people holding onto the lens and holding onto the handle, and all that does is, I mean, obviously accentuating it here, is add more movement into the shot. If you find a shot that you're happy with, say, and then you decide, okay, I'm happy with that frame, lock the camera off and step away. You don't need to hang onto the camera in a static shot, because if you do, you're basically adding movement unnecessarily into your shot. So, a couple of quick tips for panning. With panning, you want to find a shot to start with, and if you're not going to do any tilting, you can lock the tilt head off. So there's my start shot, my start frame, and I want to find an end frame maybe here. And once you've decided where your end frame is and where your start frame is, what you want to do is start on the start frame, hold that shot for 4 or 5 seconds, then gently ramp the shot up into motion, speed up the shot slightly through the middle of the shot, bringing it to a nice smooth close. Let me demonstrate. So hold that shot, 3, 4, 5, then start a smooth move, speeding up slightly in the middle of the shot, and then bring it to a nice gentle close. And then let go of the camera, because the static shot doesn't need you to be hanging onto the camera. Another tip here, I always do a shot in reverse as well. So we've got a static shot there, move the camera, speeding up slightly through the middle of the frame, holding the shot at the end. I tend to count in 1, 3 and 5 second chunks. So if I wanted to do a 1 second move, I'd go like that, and then back again. If I wanted to do a 3 second move, I'd go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And what's really important with panning is that nice gentle stop. And then for a 5 second pan, I'd go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then back again. It's unlikely an editor will ever use any more than a 5 second shot. And if you have a static shot at the beginning of the shot and a static shot at the end and a move, what you're giving yourself or the editor are 3 distinct shots to use. Now let's talk about tilting. It's the same principle. If I wanted to do a shot here from the sky, I can lock the pan off and just have the tilt. So I want to start from the sky and come down to the beach. Again, the same principles, nice and static, hold the shot, smooth ramp, speed up in the middle, and bring it to a nice static shot at the end. This is just practice. It's just a skill that you learn by doing repeatedly. What I would say to you is keep your touch light. Don't grab a hold of the handle. Caress it gently. Use your hand on the head. And in some cases, if you wanted to do a long pan, let's say of the surf club here. Open that exposure up a little. Sometimes you'll find that, again, locking the tilt head off, if you use the handle, it's very hard to get it smooth. So what you can do is just put your fingers on the tripod and on the head with your thumbs, do the move like so. And then back again. Just gives you far more control.